Hi, everyone. Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. Hope everyone is having a nice Wednesday afternoon. It's Wednesday, and that means that we're hanging out doing a Crime Stopper segment this week with LPD's Jared Minary. Jared, thank you so much for joining us on this wonderful Wednesday.
As always, thanks for having us in.
Yeah, how have you been? It's been a couple of weeks since we've had you on the show.
Doing good. I checked out the show you did last week to see who they were covering for Lancaster Lookout, and I looked him up this morning just to see if he got picked up or anything. He's still out there, so
Ooh, all right.
So we're kind of hoping to give an update on that. But
maybe next time.
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. We have plenty of things to talk about all on our own.
We do.
Without digging into previous segments that we've done. Because we got a couple larcenies that we're talking about today. So which one do you want to start with? We have a stolen trailer, and we have a van break-in and stolen tools.
Yeah, we'll go with the vans.
The vans?
Yep.
Because this is nice, because we have nice video
yeah.
of both. So crime number one here. Can you walk us through what we're seeing?
Sure. So this is back on February 3rd. It's a larceny. Basically what this is, it's a kitchen remodeling business near 56th and Nebraska Parkway. They have a couple of vans that are parked there overnight with all of their supplies to do their daily jobs. Basically somebody just pulls up in the middle of the night. They break out the passenger windows of both of these vans, and they end up going through it. They steal a whole bunch of stuff. Based on the video surveillance, it looks like it could be a white male in all dark clothing, and he pulls up in what we believe might be a gray Lincoln Navigator, something like that. I'm not sure on the color for sure, but it could be gray according to some things we've heard. Interestingly, he has about $3,500 worth of tools he takes out of these two vans, so it's a big hit to this company. We're looking for all of that stolen merchandise, obviously. We're hoping maybe somebody can key us in on where it ended up, like did it get to a pawn shop? Are they trying to sell it on Facebook? So if somebody's been seeing a lot of kind of good, high-quality Makita, DeWalt tools, which I know they get sold, but this stuff is some pretty good equipment. It would be pretty well used just because it's a construction company. But he's got to be getting rid of it somewhere. He's probably trying to pawn it or sell it. So we're just hoping that somebody can hopefully give us an idea where this kind of stuff could be. Just to give you an example of some of the stuff that was stolen, we got a Makita hammer drill, impact driver combo set, a DeWalt bevel miter saw and stand, a Milwaukee gauge brad nailer, Makita circular saw, jigsaw, a variable speed blower, DeWalt table saw, Milwaukee pin nailer. So you can see it's a very good brand items.
Those are all name brand.
So definitely something that somebody's looking for if they're going to try to steal it and sell it. And
I think we had said that we're looking at almost $3,500 total.
Yes. That
this suspect made off with.
Yeah, it might even be over it. We don't know everything that was stolen from that van. I mean, just the stuff they know of was about $3,450. So we're looking at a felony, obviously, with this.
Yeah.
So this would be a great case to solve. And to be honest, most of the time when you have people that are doing this kind of stuff, this isn't the only time he's doing it. So this might also lead into other cases. So like I said, this is one felony. We may have more. And
so we think, again, the video is good. We do have some screenshots. This is what we think is the Lincoln Navigator.
Yep.
And so then, again, hard to make out there, but the suspect is in there as well. And so this is just sort of the stock image, what we think this vehicle is.
So if you got somebody you know that maybe they have an addiction problem, they're driving around a Lincoln Navigator, or just they've been up to something in the middle of the night, they're not staying home at night, maybe it's just some things that didn't add up before, all of a sudden you see that, and, hey, that could be Joe down the street or whatever it is. That'd be a great time to call Crime Stoppers and let us know.
Which you can get a hold of you. And, well, I don't know. Maybe not necessarily you, Jared. But
they don't want me answering phones. Yeah.
But, again, all the information listed here on your screen are great ways to get in touch. But if you want to get the reward, Jared, walk us through because it is specific. You have to do some certain things for the reward.
So with the reward, no matter what, you can't just call the police department and expect a reward. They're not the ones that authorize that. It is specifically through the Crime Stoppers board. That is not a police department entity. It is a civilian entity. And so you have to contact Crime Stoppers in order to be anonymous in these cases and also eligible for that reward. Obviously, with the different variable ways of you can contact us with a phone number, the website, or the P3 app. All of those will continue to keep you anonymous as you go through that. Some of them give you the ability, like the P3 app, to chat with us. Once you log into those, you're going to get what we call a tipster ID number, And if you make sure you keep that tipster ID number, or if you have the P3 app, it will help you hold that tipster ID number. And then using that was how you would get your reward eventually, is you have to have that ID number. If you lose it, you don't get it. We aren't giving it out. You can't call in and be like, hey, I'm the one that gave the tip on this. We can't verify that because we don't know who you are to start with. So we're not going to give out free money to somebody that we can't verify. So you have to have that tipster ID number to get that.
Is that a cash or check?
The interesting part about that is it is cash.
Ooh.
We partner with a local bank.
Yeah.
And so when you get a reward, that money then is, you basically would go to the bank just like you're picking up, like you're cashing a check.
Yeah.
And you can just get the cash right out of the bank and drive off. I think I've mentioned this before. One time I heard about somebody that actually had the person that they tipped on was in the passenger seat, and they picked up the reward for that person for busting them. Not what I would recommend, but that's the cool thing about that is it's that anonymous. So you could literally have that person in your passenger seat as long as you don't say anything.
And there is, I'm assuming, no amount of times that you could collect a reward based on tips that you've given.
So there are rules in a way.
Yes.
Obviously, you can call as many times as you want. But one of the things that you have to keep in mind, we've talked about this before, is you have to be the first person with the first best information. If you are the second person to call in and give the same name, you're not going to be the person that gets a reward. It's going to be the person that came in first. But if you have even better information that gives us more detail and stuff that's valuable to us, we may offer 2 rewards for that case as opposed to just 1, because the first one was good information, the second one was even better information. So it really kind of depends on the value of the tips you're giving.
So first is good, but best information is even better.
Always.
And if you're first with the best information, you're king of the castle, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Okay. Good deal. Okay, so that was larceny number 1, and that happened, that was early February, correct?
Yep, February 3rd.
February 3rd, and that happened, where was that business again? We're at here?
So you're looking at 56th and Nebraska Parkway, or what we used to call Highway 2.
I still call it Highway 2.
I do too.
I think our whole...
It's so hard to switch.
Yes, it is. It is.
So yeah, that was about 4:30 in the morning. So
Okay.
obviously they were out very early or very late, depending on your wake up time for normal people. But yes, they definitely were out there in the middle of the night. So maybe even somebody can give us some information. They saw somebody rolling around at night in those areas.
In that area. All right. And so then our second larceny, this happened February 19th. And again, we have good video. It's only 5 seconds long, but we got a good video of the suspected vehicle in question.
Yep. So basically, this larceny actually happened at a construction site near 27th and Rokeby Road. They obviously were building something. They had a couple of trailers in this area. This vehicle basically got into that area, hooked up to this trailer, and took off. The officers did a great job in investigating this because they didn't just give up. They actually kind of went all around the neighborhood trying to find cameras that might have caught this vehicle leaving the area. And this wasn't even right next to the construction site. This is quite a ways away. We were able to identify, hey, that's the trailer.
Yeah.
Obviously, that would stand out as something we're interested in this case. It's about 4:30 in the morning that we see them rolling off with this trailer on February 19th. And what we believe towing that is a Jeep Gladiator, probably a light-colored one. So those kind of stand out. Those, if you don't remember, those are the Jeeps that have kind of the pickup bed in the back. So again, maybe this just is just enough for somebody to key in that, hey, somebody I know might have done this kind of thing. The unfortunate but fortunate thing about this is, even though they had their trailer stolen, we ended up finding the trailer at 40th and Rokeby Road. So we went from 27th to 40th Street. They didn't take it far. And when we found that trailer, all of the stuff was still in it. They broke into the trailer, kind of rummaged through it, but obviously none of the stuff in there was something they wanted for any reason. I can't tell you why or why not. But the nice thing is, at least in this case, the victim got all their stuff back. So we're not looking for all that stuff that's going, like in the other case, maybe getting pawned. So
that is good. I guess I'll give them kudos for ingenuity of just taking the whole trailer.
Yeah.
I mean, but... Yeah.
Yeah, we've had cases in the past where
know.
trailers are stolen and we never see any of the contents. It's unfortunate. So in this way, it's nice for this business. They get their stuff back.
I feel like this is kind of like Wheel of Fortune, where you're picking behind door number 1. They picked and they didn't like what they picked.
Trailer door number 1.
Yeah, and so then they just left the trailer. So they took it from a construction site. We catch them about 40th and Rokeby Road is what you said?
That's where we find the trailer.
Well, that's where
yes.
you find the trailer.
Yep.
We catch them on the camera in the neighborhood a ways away from the construction site.
Yep.
And then we find it on 40th and Rokeby Road. So they took it a mile or two down the road.
Yep.
Rummaged through it.
That's
but
probably
did not
the
take it.
plan. They didn't want to do it on the site. They just took it a ways away so they could kind of spend some time on it. And basically what ends up happening is some of the neighbors said, this trailer's been in our neighborhood for a while. It's just sitting here. Yeah. They called it into us. It's kind of like what we would call a suspicious vehicle.
Yeah.
And, of course, when we run it, we find out it's the stolen trailer, match it up to the larceny of this trailer from the earlier. So, again, another thing that is a good topic sometimes is that if you have a vehicle sitting in your neighborhood and it's been there for a few days, obviously you have a 24-hour ban on vehicles. They're there for that long. We are interested in looking at them anyway. Mm-hmm. And that's how we find a lot of stolen cars nowadays, is people just see this car sitting in a strange place, not one they've ever seen there. They call it in. They say, hey, you want to just come out and check this vehicle? I don't know why it's here. It's just strange. It just showed up.
Yeah.
And we find out they're stolen quite often. So.
Okay. And so because nothing was taken out of the trailer, what kind of charges would this individual be looking at?
They're still looking at a larceny.
Okay.
They've taken it from the area. It's kind of like you can't steal a tool set from Walmart and then get out in the parking lot and go, here's your tool set
the one
back.
I wanted.
Yeah, exactly. So, so it's still a larceny. It's just that we were able to recover the items. So
right.
they would value it based on all the information or all the stuff in there. And I don't honestly remember. I'm sure this is going to be over that $1,500 felony level. So, unless it's a $200 trailer, but based on that video, I don't think that's a $200 trailer.
No,
so.
It looks like a nicer trailer than that. So again, this is the suspect vehicle that we think is in that video, that Jeep with the kind of the flatbed in the back there, a lighter colored. So again, if you know anything, again, contact information's on the screen. We have discussed in the past, though, that the P3 app is your favorite method of communication.
It's my favorite just because I feel like it actually helps you walk through some of the stuff and gives you that option to go back and look at stuff to see if it's been cleared. Whereas if you do it online or a phone call, you would have to then contact us again to see if we've actually cleared that and if you have a reward waiting. If you do it in the P3 app, it actually will let you know there's a reward waiting for your case. And
so, again, the Crime Stoppers website is always a good one to be looking at. Again, just scrolling through what we have here. The top two cases, the ones we just discussed. You can catch that segment we did last week with Lancaster County Sheriff's Office. But then again, numerous other cases, comings and goings of the Lincoln criminals. You get to see which ones have been cleared, which ones haven't yet.
Absolutely. And I think we talked about this last time I was in here. We're now, as of last year, we saw that we cleared 51% of the cases that we put up there. So it's great for our purposes. We're clearing a lot of cases. But it's really nice because then if you're one of those tipsters, you can just go on there, look on it, and see, hey, that case, I know I gave a tip on that case. Look, it just got cleared. And then you know to call us or contact us to see if you have a reward or go back into your P3 app.
And so then finishing up on I think again, that's a high note. I don't want to say that this is a higher note, but we have the second annual Zoo Done It. We have a little bit of information we'd like to share on that. So can you kind of walk us through what's new?
So let's just start with what Zoo Done It is real quick, just for those that may not know. Zoo Done It is basically a fundraiser that the Crime Stoppers program holds, and we go out to the Lincoln Children's Zoo, and you have to solve a crime that occurs. And we have some of our local crime scene techs that will actually come out and they kind of show you how we would work a crime in a way. They'll have little stations as you go through the zoo. It's a great evening. We had so much fun last year. I'm actually really excited about next year. We've added because we sold out last year. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be able to put more people in this year. So it will grow. And, man, everybody that came last year was so excited, and they're like, are you going to let us know when you're doing this again, because we want to make sure we get in next time. So hopefully we can get that out to all those people that came before and they can get in right away. We're going to give them a benefit and open it up to them first, and then we'll open it up to the general public. But part of this event is we also have local vendors that supply food for it. They donate food to the program, and that's what we hand out while you're walking around the zoo, so you can eat and drink and wander around and solve a crime. And so we're obviously looking for some sponsors for this coming year. So we have some basic monetary sponsors we're looking for, but we also have an interest in finding people that like last year we had like Valentino's and so we had Chick-fil-A, and they all brought in some food for everybody to eat. It was a great time. We really appreciate all those vendors that gave us the food last year, and we're looking to make those partnerships again this year. Maybe have some different types this year as well. So we're just kind of putting it out there that this is what we're looking for. We're getting ready. We're gearing up. Friday, August 2nd is going to be the day. So if you want to go, mark your calendar now. You can't register yet, but put it on your calendar.
PTO request right now.
Exactly.
To prepare all day to go to Zoodunnit. And again, Lincoln-Lancaster County Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit.
Yes.
The tips or the rewards we talked about, this is where all this money goes.
Absolutely.
So again, the more money we can collect throughout the year, events like Zoodunnit, the bigger rewards we might see, or at least maybe be able to give out more rewards.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Lincoln Crime Stoppers, it doesn't get money from anywhere except this kind of thing. If you have a business in Lincoln and you appreciate the work that law enforcement does to help solve cases for times that you've been a victim, this is a great way of saying thank you. And really, this organization doesn't have a large pool of money. We don't get money from anywhere but donations. So this really is how we keep this program alive. And in the past, when we've had cases where we've given a reward or advertised rewards, we only go up to $1,000 for a reward right now. And we would like to see that increase someday, but without donations, we just can't do it. So if you're one of those people that get online and complain about how low it is, we're happy to take your check. Feel free to join us and be a sponsor and help us out so we can do bigger rewards for bigger cases. And
I suppose it's just sort of a way of life, but the bigger dollar amounts that people see in terms of rewards, maybe it's gonna suss out some more information, and hopefully the information that cracks the case.
And sometimes it doesn't make a difference. You've actually kind of surprised sometimes how a reward actually is not beneficial to a case because they get too big, and sometimes you get people that are just throwing stuff at you. For instance, we've had tips from psychics, and as much as we'd like to have them be true, a lot of times it's not, and it doesn't help us. But when we get overloaded with those kind of tips, it still takes time because we still have to look into it. If somebody says we're looking for something in this area because I'm a psychic, we're still going to look. I mean, why not? We'd love to prove you right. So it's great to get a lot of tips, but sometimes those tips actually make it harder to go through, and we have to really figure out which tips are more of value than others. So I don't want to say a big tip is a bad thing in any way. Sometimes it does bring in the right person that does know something they just need that incentive to come forward. But it's not the end-all, be-all, but we really do appreciate that support so we can offer those when we need it.
And so this flyer, which again is geared more towards, sponsorships, if you're a person or a business who's interested, where can they find this information that we have on the screen?
So if you go to the LincolnCrimeStoppers.org, that is the base website for the actual Crime Stoppers program. There's also a link on the LincolnCrimeStoppers.com website. You can see that there, and that will get you in touch with us, and we can get the forms for you.
Well, there we go. I think that's the big stuff for today. Is there anything else we need to hit on?
I think we did great.
All right.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Have a nice day.
Yeah, I know. Right? One of these Wednesdays, we're going to have to go outside. And I was talking with Captain Vic with LSO, and we're going to try and get something put up on the roof.
We need an outside deck, is what you're saying?
Yeah, it's 60 degrees this afternoon, not a lot of wind, finally. We'd be outside.
Well, and you have a weatherman, so, he'd be able to tell us the days we could go to the deck. So I'm all in. All right. There we go.
All right. Well, Jared, thanks as always for all of your time today. We really appreciate it. Thanks, everyone, for tuning in and for watching. Again, if you have any information on either one of these cases, let this guy know right here. Until next time, thanks, everyone, for watching. Keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports.